Good afternoon, my name is Sima Luipert. I'm a descendant of a genocide survivor, my great-grandmother, who survived genocide, the genocide that was committed by the German people against the Nama and Ovaherero people during German colonialism. For a number of years, I've been supporting the Nama leaders to advocate for justice for the injustice that was committed against the Nama people, and I've been mainly assisting with international advocacy work. A lot of our work has been in Germany, but from this year on we have decided also to shift the focus to the African continent, because we believe that the people of the African continent also are owed reparations and justice by European powers who had partitioned the African continent for the sake of Europe, and have done a lot of injustice to the African people. And this is part of a solidarity movement that we are starting with our African brothers and sisters. So that's basically the purpose of this video, to talk to our African brothers and sisters about what's happening here in Namibia. My great-grandmother, whom we called Omama, her name was Katrina Friedrich. She was from the Naman people. At the height of the genocide, when people were gathered at missionary stations under the guise of peace treaties being signed, she was one of the people who were taken to Shark Island. Omama survived Shark Island. After Shark Island was closed in 1908, they were taken to another concentration camp called Okawayo concentration camp near Karibib. This is where my great-grandmother Omama was rented out to the new German settlers who had now taken the land of the Nama and Ovaherero people. While the Nama and the Ovaherero were in the concentration camps, a number of ordinances were passed, and one of those ordinances was that all the land of the Nama people and of the Herero people had to be completely confiscated without any compensation, and subsequently German settlers were then put on these pieces of land, heavily subsidized by the German administration at the time. So when she ended up at Okawayo concentration camp, she was rented out to the new German settlers as a domestic servant. She was rented out, and it was by this German settler that she was raped, that she was sexually violated. And this is how my grandmother was born, out of this sexual violation that was really an ongoing part of the genocide. My grandmother was born in 1913. Her name was Hannah Friedrich. She later married Hannah Isaac, and it was through my grandmother that we really got to hear the narratives about the genocide and what actually happened there. And those narratives have been narrated throughout the different generations, including the trauma that those narrations have brought with them. So that is my background about the two women who have played a very critical role in in this fight for justice, but also my mother, Sabina Isak, who later married Sabina Garises, who is also buried here in Maltahohe, played a very critical role in the narratives that my grandmother used to tell. She used to tell us as children that we have to stay away from the white person, otherwise they are going to take you to the island, to the land on the sea, where they are going to kill you and they are going to behead you. So growing up as a child, this is the constant message that we used to get. But with my mother, she dared me as a child growing up to go into that same white community, and sort of, it was almost to her as if I needed to prove, she through me needed to prove that a Nama person has the same humanity, the same integrity, the same intelligence, the same capabilities, the same blood that runs through human beings. As a Nama person, I too have that, and therefore she too has that, and therefore her mother too has that. And so she put me in a German school, in a private German, predominantly German school, which I absolutely hated, but she insisted that I stay at the school because she used to say to me, you will prove them wrong and you will show them that you are a super Nama. And as I grew up, I started to understand how the trauma of my great-grandmother was passed to my grandmother, and then passed to my mother, and then passed again on to me. And all these generations of women are women who have been fighting for justice. And this fight for justice continues as we sit today, and we reach out to our African brothers and sisters to say, we all need to fight this together.